everyone, welcome to another edition of Rewind the Tape. I'm your friendly neighborhood Soda, joined as always by my co-pilot Ben Rayner, and this time we're joined by Ryan Payne's younger brother. How are you doing?
Ryan wanted to be here for this, but unfortunately he decided to go see The Batman again for the third time, so I decided to sub in for him.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you can make it. So what is your name, Brian? No.
I mean, you think that because we're such younger between each other, but actually it's just Rye.
Oh, Rye Payne.
But it's not like RYE. It's actually RIIE.
Nice, very artsy of you.
Yes.
Anyways, we're not here to talk about our names. We're here to talk about what is to date the first of two fully theatrically released Batman animated movies, and Batman: Mask of the Phantasm, which came out on Christmas Day, 1993. So I was you were saying before the show, I saw this in theaters. I don't know about the rest of you guys. Where did you guys see this movie?
Don't think so. I watched this. I actually think the first time I watched this was at an uncle's house. I think either in the family trip up to LA, or I just knew I was not home when I saw this movie for the first time.
What about you, Ben? When was this? Do you remember the first time you saw this?
Yes, I do. It was right here in my house almost a year ago.
Really?
So I came into this movie really, really late.
Wow, you waited almost 20 years to see this. Wow.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I might have grown up at the same time Batman the Animated Series was on, but unlike everybody else, I never watched it.
Okay.
I saw a few episodes here and there, but I don't have that nostalgic feeling towards it that everybody has.
Have you gone back and watched the series since, or still is this?
I tried. I can't get into it. I've tried. I really can't get into it.
And that's fair. That's fair. I know. I've gone through the whole series, but it's not one that I can easily sit down and binge. That's for sure, because of the more darker tone to it. I think.
I mean, I don't think it was just me. I can understand maybe with the tone. But I also understand, because we got laid into it and we've had so much Batman content out there, I can kind of get how this one could, I won't say will feel like a step back, but just kind of feels where you're not at the right, it's not like the right moment in time. Maybe you're just not at the right age that you are, or maybe, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Or maybe because you've been exposed to so many Batman movies, you actually it just doesn't hit with you.
I think my first Batman movie was the '89 Batman, and I just, for whatever reason, I just loved and hung on to that as my favorite Batman movie.
That was more or less my first one too, but I remember at that age it was like, give me anything Batman is what it was. Yeah. And I wasn't watching, that's the thing, I wasn't watching the show as it was airing at the time because we didn't, again, 1993 small town terrace, we had 13 channels. This was not one of them. So obviously I knew who it was for the toys and obviously the comics and stuff. So my parents brought me to see it, and I did end up watching the show like a little bit later, but not too much.
I know for me, when I watched this, I was already familiar with the TV animated series, but I wasn't a big follower of it. Is whenever it popped up on Cartoon Network, I'd watch it, but then also this was around the time where I was exposed to both Batman Returns and Forever. So around that time when the animated series came out, honestly, I immediately just clinged on to it. And so when I watched this, I was impressed with it. Unfortunately, my parents never bought a physical copy of the movie, so that wasn't the only time I watched it. And then, of course, now with streaming, whenever it is available, for free on streaming, I get to watch it, and I love it.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's what I do own the DVD, but luckily it's also streaming up here, so I didn't even bother getting my DVD out. Well, because it is the original DVD copy, so if I'm not mistaken, it is cropped on the sides. So I just watch it on digital just to have the full the full effect.
Yeah. And don't get me. After you, Ryan, after you.
No, I was gonna add on, like with the animation though. I do appreciate that this movie was never changed or updated in order for, especially with Batman being big as it is. I like the fact that the art style and the animation it has this, it remains the same from the theatrical cut to when it's released. I mean, of course, when you do digital remaster, they touch up a few things, but it doesn't look like too much was changed.
No. And no, they definitely did. And this was originally supposed to be a direct-to-video film. It was never supposed to be theatrically released. And then at the last minute, to do it, and then the was like, "Yay, we got one less year to do it in."
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't it come out the same year as Batman Forever?
2 years before.
2 years before Batman Forever.
Maybe Batman Returns?
This is no, it's 2 years after Returns. It's like right smack dab.
Okay.
No, Returns was 92. Forever was 95. Yeah, it was 92. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it came like smack right dab in the middle.
Yeah, that's exactly where it lies. You know?
Yeah.
But I do have to say I understand everybody's love for it. Even though it didn't hit me the same way, but the voice talent is incredible. Art is beautiful.
Oh yeah.
It's a great story.
Well, let me look at the list of actors in here. Besides Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, Dana Delaney in her first DC animated project. This is the role that won her Lois Lane. You've got Hart Bochner, who plays Arthur Reeves. Hart Bochner was the cocaine.
He was
from Die Hard.
Yes.
Whose name I'm blanking on right now.
Bubby.
Ellis,
right? Bubby.
Yeah, that guy.
Ellis.
That's Hart
Ellis.
Bochner. Ellis. Yes. How could you forget that? Mark Ellis, and he also was in Supergirl as the love interest.
Yes, he was.
Stacy Keach, who voices Carl Beaumont. He also voices the Phantasm. They did that on purpose to throw you off, so you didn't quite figure out who it was. They took Stacy Keach's voice and they made the character of the Phantasm the same build. It's pretty cool. You've got Abe Vigoda as Sal Valestra, and you've got Dick Miller, who is a well-known character actor who played Chucky Saul, the guy who died in the beginning. And then, of course, you've got your regular characters, Bob Hoskins, Robert Costanza, and Arlene Sorkin, who played one of Bruce's socialites flirts. So yeah, it's a pretty good cast.
Wouldn't you say they were kind of like a pilot episode of the animated series?
This?
Yeah.
This came out after the first season.
I mean, even though it did come out, but kind of like Batman, the Adam West movie, that film also came out. I think a season after the first. It came out after the first season. I think with this one, you can almost say it feels like its own, like an entire episode of the show, because later on when we get the animated Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, the character of Andrea Beaumont does come back in the epilogue episode.
Yes, the only other time I think you see her in the animated universe.
Yeah, so in a way, I mean, even though because of the Justice League Unlimited episode, it does tie the movie into the series. But at that time, I did like the fact that maybe this was Bruce Wayne's origin, or maybe it wasn't. Because the character is never referenced, or maybe she is referenced, but she's never seen throughout the original animated series. Even when they redid it later, even when they did even the fourth season, she's not mentioned. So I did like how this was kind of its own slice, because technically,
she does appear. I'm on the Wikipedia page. It says the Phantasm makes her first returning appearance in Shadow of the Phantasm. It's actually a comic book. Never mind. She does return in the comic book space in the series.
Got my hopes up, man. It's like, oh my god, it's gonna be a great episode to look at. Like, oh.
Yeah, no, I misread that. And it says here a direct sequel to the movie. Batman and Andrea defeat Arthur Reeves, who, having been driven mad by the Joker, is determined to exact revenge on them both. So.
Well, it does look like they're slowly starting to acknowledge her in the comics section, which is good. But it really have been nice to see that, she just pop up in the animated series. But even then, I still love that epilogue episode of Unlimited because it's great. I mean, I was not a fan of the whole Amanda Waller rewriting Terry's DNA to make him Bruce's biological son. But even then, it's just one of those things where, oh my God, I'm forgetting his name. The creator, Tim.
Bruce Timm.
Bruce Timm, yes, Bruce Timm. I think it's one of those things where Bruce Timm and the creative office were kind of like, let's just try to tie this whole show back into Batman again. I'm going, you really didn't have to.
Well, it was done basically to make serve as a series finale for Batman Beyond, because that series never got a finale.
True, it never did. It never did. But even then, I did like. I mean, look, I like the Unlimited where you have an older Terry, but I didn't like that little tag of him being Bruce's genetic son. Now, I'm driving a little too much off of our main topic here, but it does. But I swear, this does connect back in because what Bruce Timm and his team did, at least, and I'm forgetting the casting director who got the voice. Yes. What those two were, what Bruce Timm, Andrea, and so many others were able to do with the animated series really was lightning in the bottle. And this film really did look like it was that lightning, like them catching lightning twice, especially how well it does.
Right. And the thing is, like, this movie was a bomb when it dropped out. Like, it didn't make any money in the movie. It pretty much found its audience like it did with you guys once it hit home video.
Now let me ask you, do you think if it came out today, do you think it would do any better?
Well,
I would say, well, if it exactly like it is,
yeah,
I'd say it would, because now we have 20 years of nostalgia built up with with Batman the Animated Series and the rest of the DC animated universe. So I think it would.
Yeah, I honestly would say, like, if at your local, what's that, Fandango, or what's the what's that little movie thing that always what's that promotion that's always showing live?
Fathom?
Huh?
Fathom?
Yes, Fathom.
Canada doesn't have
No. What I'm saying is, what if Fathom did a re-release of Mask of the Phantasm in maybe in theaters across the country just for a limited time? I think people would enjoy it going to theaters. I mean, it's not the same like a wide release though, but I mean, but if you want to build off on that year of the 20 plus years of nostalgia and have people experience it in theaters, I think Fathom would be a good way to do it. But other than that, if let's say Mask of Phantasm comes out as is, like it's let's say for example, it was something that Warner Bros. Wasn't comfortable putting out in theaters or even mass producing. So it was like a finished product in their vaults, kind of like the whole Disney Vault thing. And let's just say finally, years later, an exec or the creative team of Warner Brothers or somebody comes across this, and with all the Batman hype goes, wait, you guys love Batman the Animated Series? Here's this little thing here's this film, Mask of the Phantasm, that was meant to be a motion picture, and then they release it to the world. I think they would love it, especially if it's people getting a chance to hear Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill's Joker exchange on the big screen.
Oh, yeah. I wish I could go back in time and like relive that as an adult. I really do. That first time.
But
all right, so let's just hop into the basic plot here a little bit. So a young Bruce Wayne, and again, feel free to interrupt me along the way. A young Bruce Wayne meets Andrea Beaumont while visiting his parents' grave. They begin a relationship while Bruce makes his first attempts at crime fighting, where he succeeds at foiling robberies, but is discouraged when the crooks do not fear him. Bruce becomes conflicted about whether to commit to his relationship with Andrea or defend Gotham City to avenge his parents, but eventually proposes marriage. Andrea accepts, only to mysteriously leave Gotham with her father, businessman Carl Beaumont, ending the engagement in a Dear John letter. Heartbroken, Bruce assumes the mantle of Batman. 10 years later, Batman breaks up a meeting of Gotham crime bosses led by Chucky Saul. When Saul tries to escape in his car, he is killed by a cloaked figure, the Phantasm, who causes him to speed out of control and crash into a building. Batman is witnessed at the scene and it is believed he killed Saul with Councilman Arthur Reeves, who is corrupt and on the mob's payroll, vowing to have him arrested. The Phantasm murders another gangster, Buzz Bronski, in the same cemetery Bruce met Andrea. Bronski's bodyguards see the Phantasm flee the scene and mistake the mysterious figure for Batman. Batman investigates the scene of Bronski's death and encourages Andrea, inadvertently revealing his identity to her. Batman finds evidence linking Carl Beaumont with Saul Bronski and a third gangster, Salvatore Valestra, later finding a photograph of the four together in Valestra's home. Paranoid that Batman will come for him next, Valestra asks Reese for help, but is refused. In desperation, he turns to the Joker. The Phantasm goes to kill Valestra at his mansion, only to find him already killed by the Joker. Seeing Phantasm through a camera, Joker realizes Batman is not the murderer and detonates a bomb he planted in the mansion. Phantasm escapes the blast and is pursued by Batman before disappearing. The police begin hunting down Batman, who is saved from arrest by Andrea. She explains to Bruce her father embezzled money from Valestra, repaid everything, but a hit was put out for his death, prompting him to go into hiding with Andrea. Together, once again, the two consider resuming their relationship. Bruce believes Carl Beaumont to be the Phantasm, but sees a vital clue in the photo of Bronski, Valestra, Saul, and Beaumont. That Valesky's chauffeur in the background is, in fact, the Joker. Believing him to be ordering the wiping out of the Valestra mob to hide his mafia connections, Joker presses Reeves for information before poisoning him with laughing gas. Reeves is taken to the hospital where Batman interrogates him. Reeves confesses he helped the Beaumonts escape but told Valestra their location after Carl refused to help fund his first election campaign. Both Batman and Joker deduce the Phantasm is Andrea, who has returned to Gotham to seek revenge on the Valestra mob for her father's murder and robbing her of a life with Bruce. Andrea tracks down Joker, her father's killer and last target, to his hideout in Gotham's abandoned World Fair. They fight but are interrupted by Batman, who begs Andrea to stop to no avail. Joker prepares to blow up the fair, but is seized by Andrea, who bids Batman goodbye. Having barely survived the blast, Batman finds no trace of either Andrea or the Joker. Bruce is later consoled by Alfred in the Batcave, who assures him Andrea could not have been helped, before finding Andrea's locket containing a picture of them together. Sorrowful, Andrea departs Gotham, and a sad Batman, cleared of the accusations against him, resumes his crime fighting. Now, one of the things, it's something I've always noticed, but one of the things I noticed this time, I really, really noticed, was just how they're the same side of the different sides of the same coin, Andrea and Batman.
Yeah, I mean they are in a way not. I mean, I won't say like the same side of the corner, but they're kind of like two people who unfortunately are on the same path, except they're literally they diverge on two different tracks.
Yeah,
like because you talk about the to kill Joker. Hello.
Hello. You're choppy.
Yeah, I think my internet decides to stop me.
Yeah.
All right. I'll quickly say this. At the end, when Bruce is in the Batcave with Alfred, unfortunately grieving her death. I like how Alfred. Alfred says she can't be saved, but she also goes that he also tells Bruce that he's kind of glad that he did not fall down the same path as Andrea, and he's thankful every morning, every day, where Bruce tries to be better, or at least tries to find another way. Like he doesn't try to give in to that hate that Andrea unfortunately gave into.
Yeah, because he easily could have. He easily could have gone down that path.
Well, I haven't seen it, but isn't that the path he's going to go down in the Batman? In a way? Yeah.
More or less, yeah. More or less.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't seen it. But...
Well, spoilers. That's why I'm like more or less. I don't really want to spoil the movie for people watching, right?
Right.
The line that really, really got me this time was when he before he proposes to Andrea, when he's having his like pet freak out in his mansion, when he says, "I wasn't planning on being happy."
Yeah, that was good. That's a good line.
Hello, Ryan. You froze. Hello. I think I just saw your head move.
Hello.
Hey.
I may have to.
Yeah, hop out and then hop back in.
Yep.
Yeah. Live TV, folks. And
hey, we're doing it live. Let's do it live. We're doing it live.
Always doing it on the cuff of our pants. And one of the things I do like about this movie, it's very short. It's only 78 minutes long.
I love that scene in this movie when Bruce is about to put on the bat mask for the first time. And you just see Alfred's face when he does.
Yeah, because he finally saw him take that step he didn't want him to take.
Right. And then, it was in all the Batman movies we've seen, and we've seen a lot. The relationship between Batman and Alfred always gets me.
And all right.
All right, am I clear now?
You are, yes. We're talking about Batman and Alfred relationship.
Yes. Actually, that is a good point. That's one thing I did like what this movie did. The relationships Bruce Wayne has in this film with, especially that's one thing about this film I actually respected its choice to do flashbacks, because honestly, it really could have been I'm not like a pacing issue, but just kind of more of like it felt like it could have gave away sort of some of the narrative threads, honestly, especially since it relied on it so much throughout most of the jump cuts.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it would have worked if they structured it where like all the flashbacks took place at the beginning and then the second act begins 10 years later. I don't think it would have worked.
Yeah, because the truth is, it would have possibly given away the reveal of Andrea being the Phantasm much more earlier. That's why it does make sense. I mean, I don't mind the flashbacks happening when Andrea starts up, because it's kind of a good narrative device. It's where Bruce starts to look at the road that wasn't taken. The road not taken with Andrea. And
what if?
Exactly. And it does, and how it builds into his pain. And I will say,
what do you guys think about that? Do you think it's the best Bruce Alfred?
Honestly, the movie itself, it kind of does well, because as much as people want to bag the Schumacher films, though, I think they do a good job trying to establish a respectful relationship between Bruce and Alfred.
The burden felt more like employer-employee.
Well, not more like that. It felt like a professional relationship, not employer-employee, but two respected individuals, while the Burton films try to treat it as if they are family.
Okay.
I will say the Batman and Robin, it does jump more into where they are family. But at first, because in Batman Forever, the relationship does feel like where Alfred's just the shoulder to lean on, the wise counsel, not a family friend. And even in Batman and Robin, you do see that a little bit, but this is a Bruce that's trying to be more open on trying to, train Dick Grayson, trying to be more of a friend and not a father to him. So I do see that there, but Galaxy Geeks is right. This does have a great relationship because these are two.
Oh, that was Galaxy Geeks. That was 50.
Oh, sorry. I just looked and said Galaxy, and I'm going, I'm sorry. That's on me. I'm sorry, 50. And you're going to respond with like, F you, Ryan.
He will.
No, but he is right, though. It is a great relationship because of the emotional lenience that both men have on each other, especially during those flashbacks where Bruce is he's so headstrong on trying to be this symbol to fight crime. But then when you see him meet Andrea, and I do like in certain moments, I mean, there's not a lot, but you do see Alfred kind of a little surprised.
There you go.
Yeah, I saw the part 50. I'm sorry. I just immediately thought it was Galaxy Geeks. I'm sorry. It's just more of those flashbacks when you see Alfred seeing Bruce have happy, almost be experiencing life. And then once he does put on that cowl for the first time, it is Alfred who was the first one terrified of it. And it kind of works because you do see how changed Bruce is.
Yeah, because that's the first time you're seeing Bruce go full in on the Batman.
I know like Kane and I know like Bale, Alfred and Bruce.
Yeah, I personally do lean towards that one as well, especially the relationship they established in the third one, then Dark Knight Rises.
And the underrated one, we didn't get much. Jeremy Irons and Ben Affleck.
Yeah, that was a good one. I wish we'd have gotten more of that one.
I do agree on that one too, and especially despite the despite the way that Snyder did the story, I did like their moments because you do see Irons. He does treat Bruce as if, man, you're like in your 40s and you're still here at Wayne Manor. Get out and have a life. That's why I like those little jabs he takes at him. but then also he doesn't put up with any of Bruce's BS. And
yeah,
I do, and there is a little bit of that in this movie, especially when Bruce is trying to figure out the connective thread with Carl Beaumont and the mob family. Alfred trying to be, a counsel, but then at the same time, he's still going, don't you think this is a little too personal for you? Like, you're not being objective about it.
Yeah. So what do you think of the character of Arthur Reeves? Like, pretty much he's more or less set up to be the unknown bad guy in this.
Well, I think he's a good foil, honestly. He felt to me like he was going to be the corruptible side of Gotham. To me, when he was introduced, I thought he was going to be that side of Gotham, the people who are corrupt, but unfortunately end up getting away with.
Mm-hmm.
And despite with Batman being around, that there's still that side of corruption in Gotham. But then the way that he is immediately just written out really quickly, like you do see that he's not. I did like how in the start it did look like he was going to be a thorn in Batman's side, but then the way when Joker comes in and then just topples him down, you do see that he's just another one of those Gotham citizens that wants to grab for power, but when they come across someone like the Joker, who really does not, who treats power as if it's a playing card, just topples him down to the ground. I like that scene when he gasps him. Like, at first he stalks and terrorizes him in his own office, to where Arthur Reeves is meant to be kind of like powerful, so to where he can get mob bosses like Sal to be like, wait, what? And then Joker comes in. At first, he's toying with him because Arthur is so terrified. And I love how it builds and builds. Like, you really don't know if Joker is just going to kill him or he's just asking for information. And then that call then the call from Andrea comes. And then I love it to where because when I remember, I didn't think of it much as a kid, but watching it again, I'm going, like, it feels like a ticking clock. Like, when is Joker just going to throw everything aside and just, kill him, or, be the Joker and just, take him out of commission? And I love the fact that it's only when Andrea calls, he goes, ooh, the plot thickens, and then decides to, like, I'm gonna have some fun with you. And then we cut to Arthur in that hospital just laughing uncontrollably.
Yeah, completely driven mad. Exactly, because you think the way it's silhouetted, you think he's gonna kill him, but no, he just poisons him.
Yep. What did you guys think about the twist? Did you guys figure it out before it was revealed?
Well, not when I was a kid. No, definitely not.
No, unfortunately. I mean, obviously, I didn't think too much of it at first. But then, I don't know. I mean, I honestly didn't really care.
Yeah, but I will admit I do like it, because it's nice that it wasn't the obvious, and or it wasn't the Joker, or what I mean. Like, yeah, the Joker was the guy they fought at the end, but I mean, it was nice that it was different. It was the one that Bruce loved, his counterpart, that person. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say it was the one person Bruce could never kill.
That's true.
Well, yeah, I mean, possibly not killed, but really just couldn't bring himself to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's that very strong bond, because like we said earlier, the whole what if. So the Joker in this movie, did you feel like it was needed? Could it have been another villain, or was it meant to be the Joker?
I actually like the fact it was the Joker, because it really was that kind of hit out of the park for you, where you're going, I don't know, it was just awesome.
Yeah, it was kind of nice to see, like, the Joker. Yeah, he, again, like I said, he was the guy that they fought at the end, but I mean, he was just there because he was connected to it. That's the only reason why he was there, and I kind of liked it. Whereas he was the guy that they were both going after, but one was to protect, the other was to kill, which is weird.
Yeah.
Well, Batman went because he didn't want Andre to kill Joker.
Yeah, that is weird. Like, why would... Well, I guess I know why. Yeah.
Well, it's like it's that never-ending dance. They're always circling around each other. Neither can kill the other because without because without the other, they're lost.
Batman.
Oh, go ahead, Ben. This one's on you. Let's go for it.
I mean, going to say, is Batman and the Joker the strongest hero and rivalry back and forth in all of the comics? Do you guys think?
I would say yes, and actually that's something we're going to be diving in next week when we do Lego Batman, because that movie touches on that. They're basically romantic partners without the romance.
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, even though I love that, I like the Joker popping in this film like as a surprising third act like reveal. This film, honestly, even if he didn't show up, this film kind of would have gone out the same way, except the difference would have been like Andrea would most likely would have left town and Batman would have been chasing her. But
yeah,
other than that, this film, outside of the Joker showing up, I mean, sure, he kills one of the mobsters, but like from what you read in your little description, Andrea was going to kill Sal anyway.
Very much so, because really Voldemort needed to die.
Yeah. And I think the thing with the Joker is that one thing I will say with the Joker that actually does make some good, that does actually add something to this film when Sal goes to visit him. You know, he's just being very over the top. He's being the showman. You know, he's deflecting everything he throws at him until the Weezer, what you like to call him, brings up their past. You do get that. You do, and then that close up on Joker to where you see like fire or red go over his eyes. Like it does seem to me like someone who doesn't take things personally, he took that very, very personally. And then when he says, "Get off of me," and then he immediately puts that switch back to, "Oh, I'm sorry, I just did not want to catch it. Yeah. And you're older. I didn't want to catch anything." Yes. Don't touch me. Like, see that sharp bit of anger out of him. That does show to me that is a guy with a past who does not want to remember it.
Yeah, so actually, what's funny is this is from IMDb. This isn't the trivia page. Now, again, who knows how accurate this is because it is IMDb. But the scene in which Joker freaks out when Valester touches him is a reference to an unmade episode of the series called The Life of a Gun, which would have detailed the origins and life of the gun that killed Thomas and Martha Wayne. The episode revealed that the writers of the series originally planned for the show to fall in line with Batman 89 and have a young Jack Napier be the one who killed Bruce's parents, as lashed out when Thomas Wayne tried to stop him, with young Bruce being so traumatized that he couldn't remember the killer's face, only the sight of the gun. One secret's planned for Napier to reclaim the gun by chance on the fateful night at the Monarch Card Company when his first battle with Batman would turn him into the Joker, caused by lashing out and Batman grabbed him, throwing him into that, whatever. But yeah, I find that interesting that comes from there.
I have a question, guys. The Batman is out there. We saw, and we didn't see it today. I don't know if you guys saw it, but
I haven't, but
okay. The Joker is in a pop culture right now. Let me ask you, both of you, who is your favorite Joker and why?
Oy.
Well, that's a difficult one.
I think I would actually go with Nicholson just because he's the one I quote the most. Besides, obviously, like you want to know, I got these scars. But I mean, like, where do you get those wonderful toys? And of course, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? Never rub another man's rhubarb.
Yeah, my number one guy.
Oh yeah.
How about you, Ryan? Do you have a favorite one?
I will admit it is the Mark Hamill one for me because that is the guy who was the more influential. I mean, yes, yeah. I do like Jack Nicholson's. I do love Heath Ledger's. And I even admit I like Jared Leto's Joker. The only problem is that, like, we don't get too much we don't get enough of him to get a good opinion. Mm-hmm. I just think how everyone feels as if, you get 5 minutes of a character and then immediately can't sell it for you. No offense, guys. You guys need to take a chill pill. Smoke some weed or take some edibles.
We would never fight you on this, 50, because it's your opinion.
I don't like that. I hate it nowadays where everyone likes to say, "Don't fight me on this." We're on now, 50. I'm not going to fight you on this because I choose not to. I just hate every argument, especially now. If you guys have saw online YouTube the deleted scene from the Batman involving Batman being a certain Arkham inmate, so many people are already starting to write that off, and it's pissing me off because it's just a deleted scene, everybody.
Yeah.
It's not, and it's 5 minutes or 4 minutes.
It's not canon
how
anymore.
long you watch it. It's not part of the film. I don't know. I don't want to make this big tirade, but all I'm going to say is that when someone ever writes down "Do not fight me," it's kind of like when someone says "Don't judge me." You're kind of opening the door for someone to do that.
Yeah,
it's not what you say; it's just how you say it. And
or when
I do agree. I do agree with your first half, 50. Mark Hamill is the best Joker, but mostly because Mark gets to use all of his talents to make this Joker and become and I swear the animators, they did a fantastic job with creating something, and Mark just giving them so much material to work with in order to craft this Joker to be so almost like an opera character who just put into this comic book world.
Now, I will say, I did say Nicholson's my favorite, but whenever I'm reading a comic book with Batman and the Joker, and it is Kevin Conroy's voice and Mark Hamill's voice that's in my head.
Yeah. I mean, I love Jack Nicholson's Joker, but he kind of works like how you would expect him to work in that film. I mean, well, honestly, no, he does give most of his energy to it. It's really hard to describe it. The reason why I love Hamill's Joker is because not just because of the animation, but because when he jumps on screen, Hamill chooses on how he is pronouncing words, what words that he needs to really get his whole like vibe of his character across to the audience, especially how he interacts with people. From what we've seen, when he interacts with Sal, then to Arthur, then to Batman, and then to Andrea again. Like you see that this is a Joker. He's methodically planning on what he wants to say to everyone.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. But and also like Mark Hamill crushes it in every opportunity he gets. Like you said, he exposes the page. Like his performance as the Joker in the Arkham video game series, I think is his best performance as the Joker.
Mine is Heath Ledger. Oh, you know what? I really love Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, that's a completely different take, but that's a pretty damn good Joker.
I do. But before, I mean, wait. How about you guys with the whole thing with Batman? The whole like his journey from the Flash. Like, no, actually, no. The opening when he's being accused of killing these crime bosses. Like how fast it falls, his relationship with the police kind of falls apart outside of Gordon. Like the second time the second mobster was killed, all of a sudden it's to where everyone's turning against Batman to where he's become the villain now. And I like how Gordon's the only one's like, no, let's not kill him. I know it's not him, but
yeah, I'm like, it's just part of the course.
Yeah, some stuff just feels like it's just forced. I mean,
yeah,
that's one that's one takeaway I can see of this film.
Yeah, no, this movie really did hit me differently this time. I think I appreciated it more than the last time I watched it. Maybe because I was just paying more attention this time.
Yeah,
I knew. Yeah, I like the movie. It's a solid movie, but it's not my top personally. But I see why everybody does love it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, because it's a good story. It's a very tight story. Great performance from all over. The score is amazing. I love how for the credits they took the Batman theme, but they did it operatic. They did it a cappella.
That's one thing I loved about this.
Yeah,
I did love that. The score was incredible. Like it really sets up so many scenes. I mean, transitions to flashbacks. I even love that score when Bruce and Andrea are forming their relationship. Like it's like it really plays off like a lovely like two lost souls like finding a connection with each other. And then of course the scene where Batman's as parents' grave, you know, really conflicted. That's a great score. And even the score when Andrea leaves and he's brokenhearted. Listening to that, and especially how it builds to Batman just putting on that cowl, like the timing of it works so well. Like if you were really like if you were watching this movie with headphones on and that thing happened, you'd almost get goosebumps.
Yeah. That scene is like it's like the musical term. It's a crescendo. Like it's slowly building to that particular moment, and that's where you're like, bong.
It is a great scene, and I really love the animation and the music and everything that works together in this movie. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, 100% agreement on that. Who was it he did? I'm trying to remember who was it he did the score. Oh, Shirley Walker. Yeah, she did the score for the TV series as well. Actually, she scored all of that. And Dark.
Yeah. No, forget before.
So we have a visitor. If it works.
What? Oh, please.
This guy. Hey, 50.
Well, look what you made me do. You made me jump into the studio in the middle of the rain.
Aw, Muffin.
Well, no one asked you to, but okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Okay. Hold on, maybe traffic.
Now we just see us. There we go.
Oh, there we go. Much better. Okay, so what? Obviously, when I say Mark Hamill is the best, obviously I mean my opinion. Clearly, like how when I say Lion King is the best movie, opinion. When I say Tenet is the best Doctor, opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But when you really just step outside just the opinion side of it, you can't help but to acknowledge that I don't think any other actor who ever played the Joker before or since Mark Hamill has contributed to the role as much as he did, going so far as to say that he actually played him the longest, technically, on various different points of media in animation, video games, and sort of technically live action.
Right,
sort
with Birds of Prey, the TV show. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm referring to. So I don't think you can actually, I mean, again, subjectively, opinions are your own. You can always say Jack is the best. You can always say Heath Ledger's the best. Hell, some people might say Jared Leto's the best. Who knows? And I can't wait to see Billy Keong as Joker in the next Batman movie.
That is if it's going to happen, but I see where you're going.
Yeah.
But I think just on contribution alone, I think you gotta factor that part into it. The longevity of him playing the character. Where's the camera? The longevity of him playing the character and the different levels to which he plays the character. I think he's got the best Joker laugh.
Oh,
I mean, clearly depends on the depiction, but the look of the Joker is something that is very, very well defined, and it's about as Jokery as can be in various depictions of Mark Hamill as this character, and just the storylines themselves, the stories that Mark Hamill got to play the character in, I think outshine most other Jokers or any other. I think it outshines any live action Joker besides maybe Cameron. What's his face from Gotham? Maybe.
Right.
But ooh, you see my point. Can I go back into the warmth of the air conditioner now?
Yeah, yes, the warmth of the air conditioner
outside, man.
It's raining. And also, speaking of Batman, look, the entire street is flooded. Just like shit. Spoiler. Never mind.
Definitely spoiler.
Shit! I did it again. I'm terrible. I'm sorry. I'm cold. Okay, I don't think straight when I'm cold.
Well, thank you very much for jumping in, 50. You can go back inside if you like. We don't want to keep you outside in the cold too much longer.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, or we'll see you later,
Have a
buddy.
good one, man.
Yeah, man.
But he's right. Mark Hamill probably has contributed the most out of any other actor.
Yeah, and I agree with what you're saying. I do agree with that first part. I mean, I do agree. Yeah, Mark, he put, especially for a TV show, especially not knowing how many times the Joker as a character is going to be on there.
Yeah.
For a 30-minute cartoon animated TV show, Mark put in so much.
And
as I mentioned before, especially
he wasn't the original choice either. Actually, he was the second actor.
Who was the first one?
Tim Curry. Tim Curry actually recorded lines for a couple episodes.
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, because originally he was brought on. He played Mark Hamill played a different character in the early episodes of that series, and then I don't know why they replaced Tim Curry, but anyways, they brought him in, re-recorded his dialogue.
I can't remember if Tim. I think Tim may have said he refused. He took a step back from the role because he couldn't do. He couldn't give the necessary like energy for the role, or he just felt that, or maybe he heard Mark's take and thought it was better.
You want to hear the audio real quick? I'm not going to bring it up, but I can play the audio. This is what Tim Curry's Joker would have sounded like. If I can get close to the speaker.
No worries.
A little young for you, isn't she, Richie? Big Richie.
I didn't hear that. I didn't.
Come on up, Richie. I got a balloon.
Okay, somebody screwed that up. That's a lot. Never mind that. That's from It. Somebody.
Yeah, I'm like, that is not Joker.
No. Supposedly it does exist. It does exist.
You're like Chris Foley, how they have his voice
Did that?
included for right?
I think someone did that to desperate people.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those what ifs, isn't it? Because I mean, Tim Curry's a great actor, but he's not the Joker.
Nope. Is there anything else we want to touch on before we wrap up?
Oh no.
Sorry, your screen is frozen. There we go. We see you're you're getting there.
God, my internet doesn't mean to keep talking.
Yeah, your internet hates it whenever you're on this show for whatever reason. Yep. Okay. We'll give him a moment. So we'll give our closing thoughts. So anything you have to say before we wrap up?
Like I said, it's not my favorite, but it's a very well done, great movie. I see why everybody loves it. Sadly, Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy are not my Joker and Batman, only because I didn't grow up with them as they playing them. So I don't have that nostalgic experience to them.
Oh,
so maybe, yeah.
Yeah, no, rewatching it this time, for the last time I'd watch it, I was like, oh, it doesn't hold up. But watching it this time, it totally does. And if you want to watch a really good, quick Batman movie, this is the one. It's only, like I said, 80 minutes long from start to finish. Oh, here he's back.
Hey, Taco.
Oh, how are you doing, my buddy?
Oh, is he back?
Buffering.
Did it work?
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, we're just giving our final thoughts on the movie. Ben just gave his. Apparently, it didn't work. So yeah, no, I just gave my final thoughts. Like I said, it's a nice. If you want to watch a nice, quick Batman story, that's the one to go for. I'm surprised you haven't thrown your computer against the wall yet. Yep.
I miss it.
Yeah. I like how he's frozen right now. It's like he's looking off into the distance.
Okay.
Back?
Yeah, I hear you now. There's a delay, but can you not hear us?
I can hear you guys. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, you're good. We can hear you. We can hear you now.
Okay, I was about to say, just go and end it without me. Just treat it as if the Joker took me out or the Phantasm got me.
So yeah, your final thoughts on the film. No, you're good. You're good.
I'm trying to put them. I'm trying to do it before my internet cracks. But hold on. I think this film, while it's beloved or it gets a mixed reaction among some of the fan bases, I still love this film, Mask of the Phantasm, for being a great product of the animated TV show, really showing us exactly from what animation can be done for superhero films. It's one of the kind of things when it comes to comic book movies. I know everyone wants the live action. They want to see favorite characters on screen. But honestly, just do animation for some superheroes. The variety will be amazing, honestly. I mean, you can take so many ideas of stories that people wanted to see from comic books onto the big screen or even on TV shows with animation. And Mask of the Phantasm happens to be one of those films where it is possible. Sure, it bombed or so, but now with the majority of audiences, especially now this generation who were raised or at least who read comic books, watch comic book related TV shows, it's possible to bring this stuff here now. And as much as I don't like the cartoon, but Teen Titans Go and Teen Titans are examples of how you can do superheroes onto animated forms. But ultimately, this was a great product. It's a film. Whenever I see it's available online for streaming, I will immediately watch, or I will make sure it's on my queue to watch because I just love it. It's always great to hear Mark Hamill. It's great to hear Kevin Conroy. Hell, even the extra cast. I forget the actors who voice Harvey Dent and James Gordon, who barely who were not in the film as much.
Richard Mull is Two-Face, Bull from Night Court, and what's his name? He plays Gordon. Got it right here. Bob Hastings.
Okay. Yeah, but even then, just seeing some of the characters from the show make an appearance on this in the movie is still a great. And even though, even if it wasn't canon at the time, it was still great to see them.
Yeah. Now, before we sign off, there is actually a companion piece that I do recommend. It's not based on the movie, but it's based on something that happened during the making of the movie. While the film was being written, Paul Dini, who was handling many of the Joker scenes, was attacked and beaten by two muggers on the pier drive and had to go reconstructive surgery on his skull. He spent several months recuperating from the attack, physically and emotionally. As a result, he almost backed out of doing the film and even considered giving up working on Batman altogether before he returned to work on the script. And then he later wrote a graphic novel on his experience recovering called Dark Knight, a true Batman story. If you really want to read a really good story about how man dealt with the stuff with the help of Batman and the Joker, I highly recommend reading this book by Paul Dini. Once again, it is called Dark Knight with an N, a true Batman story. So, Ryan, where can everybody find you? Yeah, it's a good book.
Well, people can find me on Northern Entertainment Group, popping in, help with additional content whenever there's stuff happening. You guys can follow me on Twitter, caramel_pain. And also, I mean, I do have another show on Northern Entertainment Group called Mount Showdown, but for the moment, it's going to be put on ice to figure out what I'm going to do with the format, and it sucks now because with the Schmodown back up and running with its content. But you know what? It's going to take time, and I can't wait to bring out the red carpet to roll it back out there for everybody. And also, if you are wrestling fans, I have a podcast I co-host with my buddies James Shimo and Brenton McPherson called Wrestling Ramblings and Rages Podcast. We have currently new episodes out. We did a top 10 list of promos. We talked about tribalism in wrestling, and we are going to have so many more episode content coming out.
Spoilers. Who was the number one promo?
Well, the thing was, we couldn't do a combined list, so we all had separate ones. I believe the number one for them was a Stone Cold promo was Austin 316.
Oh, the
mine was CM Punk. Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, all three of us, I think some of us will have like the same promos on different rankings, or some of them are completely different promos from different wrestlers. So it's gonna be a fun episode to listen to.
Yeah, I'll definitely give it a listen because there's definitely a lot of promos. For sure. Like you could, like as you said, the CM Punk pipe bomb. Hell, you can even throw in the MJF's done in the last couple of years. Actually, that MJF one from a couple weeks ago where he thought he was going to turn face would make that list for me. All right, Ben, where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me right here every Tuesday on Rewind Tape, every Sunday with Soda, and 50 on No Look Countdown. You can also find me on my YouTube channel, The Multiverse of Geekdom, every Monday on Deep Time, every Wednesday on Jedi Academy, and every Sunday on Unwind, where we have guests. This week, come on by, we're playing the court game. I want the questions, and they are good. So let's go to playing it, and there's some good ones for him. So come on by and watch that.
And as for myself, you can find me in my personal Instagram and Twitter at soda_the_saxman. You can find me all over this channel. The next time you will see me will be this weekend. And also you can find me on Saturday afternoons on the Dropkicks over on the Let's Get Ready Network, where myself and Dagan, we do cover what is going on in the world of wrestling. And of course, my wrestling podcast on here, The Squared Slice. This past week, we did a Stone Cold Steve Austin episode where Dustin talked about The Condemned because I forgot to watch it. And we discussed my personal favorite Stone Cold Steve Austin match, the 3 Stages of Hell against Triple H from No Way Out 2001. Definitely check that out. So thank you very much for joining us, folks. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to add your comments in the video. Tell us what you think of Batman Mask of the Phantasm. And we will see you next week when we rewind the tape on 50 Shades of Geek's favorite Batman movie, Lego Batman. And he will be joining us for that. So see you next week, folks, and have a good evening at the movies.